Go from a fan of the show to star of the show. Send us your opinions now, and they could be discussed live on today's show. Welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, good morning, Canada. Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show, episode number 234, coming to you from sunny North Regina. We're getting a weather report that it's raining in South Regina.
Yeah.
It is May, of course. Welcome to Saskatchewan, where if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. And we've got viewers checking in from Kansas City this morning. So good morning, John Schmeiser in the Show Me State. I'm the host, Rod Pedersen. He is the co-host, Darren Dupont. How you doing, Dupes?
I'm doing really good.
As some would say, I'm the colonel. He's the lieutenant colonel. How's that?
It works. I'll take it.
It's a good day. It's a good day. I said to Darren, I'm feeling a little under the weather today. I woke up with a headache today. I'm not sure why. I had some good dreams last night. No reason to wake up with a headache, really. I dreamt that I was eating Blue Craft dinner. Have you seen this in any of the social medias? The people are reporting very vivid, wild dreams.
Really?
Through the pandemic. Yeah, for whatever. And hey, I have.
Well, yeah, and I have too.
You have?
Yeah, but I haven't seen it as a thing.
Oh, it's a thing. For whatever the reason is, yeah. You haven't really told me about any of yours.
No.
Go sit on the couch and let's examine your dreams.
Let me lay down.
Right. Listen, what's wilder than the dream that I was hosting a show on the NLL? Welcome to the NLL This Week, live from the Blarney Stone with co-host Matthew Barnaby. A month ago.
So random.
That happened. The Blarney Stone hasn't been open in 20 years. Oh, well, it's day 63 of the pandemic, I believe, by the way. And it's a big hockey day. On the program today, we've got Peter Anholt, the executive of the year in the Western Hockey League, a very good longtime friend of mine, will be joining us from Lethbridge, the boss of the Hurricanes, who not only did he win GM of the year, the Hurricanes won Business of the Year in the Western Hockey League. I'm so proud of them. I want to talk to Pete about how they did that. Brad Lauer, Pat's alum, longtime NHLer, the reigning Western Hockey League Coach of the Year. He was named that last week from the Edmonton Oil Kings. Lau, the Humboldt product, will be joining us. I want to know when's the last time he got back to the Bolt. If he's one of those guys that was raised there and then never really went back, or if he goes back regularly.
Yeah.
Because Kelly Bates is one of those guys. And Mike Rooney, the new coach and GM of the Millville Millionaires. And a shout out to the Money Men for tweeting his appearance from their account, the Millville Millionaires. Thank you. We really enjoy when you do that. And comedian Kelly Taylor will be joining us too. He was so popular last time, we've brought him back. Kelly TikTok Taylor. What are you laughing at, Clark? He broke out laughing on the other side of the wall. J.R. Rowley writes me from Cranbrook on the show and says, didn't hear you on the cat this morning, Rod. That I should have.
Probably wasn't listening at the right time.
I don't think you were listening at the right time, J.R. You might have got your time zones mixed up. 9:50 a.m. every morning on Cat Country 98. I'm on there. If for whatever reason the report didn't run, I'll be hearing from Hurricane Huber, the owner of the station, I'm sure. Anyways, are you ready to go to the quick six show topics here in this little thing we call the Rollout for Flooring Superstore? One, just this morning it came on my radar. TSN reporting that the CFL is investigating 2 bubble cities to start their play in 2020. Did you see that report at all?
Yeah. Was Kelowna one of them?
I didn't hear the cities.
I've heard, and I don't know how much legs there is to it, but I've heard Kelowna. I've heard some of the Western Hockey League communities in BC could be used, and that could include Cranbrook even. But that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
I know.
No, not that.
Oh.
Bill Lothian writes in and says, the power is out at the transmitter in Assiniboia, hence why my report didn't run on Cat Country this morning. And now Nelson's chiming in. He says, the CFL scenario is all over the place, man. What do you mean it's all over the place? I just saw it this morning. I'm sorry that I'm so an hour behind. It's like, stand down in this 24-hour. You're so out of touch. That aired 20 minutes ago on Twitter. What's wrong with you? Get your head out of your ass. Nelson, pour yourself another cup of coffee. Go for a walk around the block. We're getting hung up on point one. We got 5 more to go.
I know.
And Dan Ukrainitz is checking in this morning from, I believe, Saskatoon. He says, morning, boys. 6-game losing streak for the Wyverns has to be getting old, Roddy. Oh, you're telling me. My Wyverns in Korean baseball lost again last night. The big donger, Dongmin Han, my favorite player from the Wyverns, did not go deep last night, did not hit a home run, and now there's a tie for the home run lead in Korean baseball. But I'm getting to that. Can you just sit tight and let me do the talking? It's kind of the idea of what we do here. To point 2, I'm going to rattle through these and then come back, okay? Point 2, player pay cuts in all leagues. Major League Baseball players have almost unilaterally said, no, we're not accepting your proposal of a 50-50 pay split when we get back playing. We're not taking pay cuts. Guys, you're going to need to wake up and smell the coffee. Everybody's taking pay cuts, man. You want to talk about hockey-related revenue, baseball-related revenue? It's all dropping through the floor. You're not going to make as much money, okay? Breaking news. Your paychecks aren't going to look like... Take a couple zeros off and get used to it. Point 3, UFC Fight Night last night in Jacksonville. There was a controversy. It was on free television last night. Did you watch any of it?
I've seen a little piece of it, yeah.
In the main event, Glover Teixeira and Anthony Smith. It went into the 5th round. Glover won on a technical knockout, and there's controversy. Chael Sonnen, UFC analyst, one of the most popular UFC fighters ever, saying, how did his corner men not stop the fight, i.e. throwing the towel? How did the ref not stop the fight? He didn't tap out because he's too proud. Chael, I got to tell you this, and to Anthony Smith this morning, he just got his brain rattled around, teeth knocked out. Tap out, buddy. That's what the rule's there for. Don't blame the cornerman. Don't blame the referee. The rule is there for you to tap out because you're too proud to give in. Life's about choices. Stop pointing fingers. That's my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Point 4. I want to address some viewer questions because so many have come in, and we'll come back on this, but people are saying, why are teams signing players? Why are the Riders signing players right now? Why are NFL teams? Because they are continuing to conduct business as usual. Great article, an interview with Tim Reed, the president and CEO of Evraz Place, that I read in the Leader Post, where he says, we have to conduct business, that everything's moving forward until we're told otherwise. Every leader has to do that. So there's one answer. Another, some guy said, I would really like a statement from the CFL on whether they're going to play this year or not. They can't, dude. They don't know. Bettman can't give you that. Rob Manfred can't give you that. Randy Ambrosie can't give you that. But you're seeing a lot of impatience on social media, right? I want to know. I want answers. There are no answers. We're 2 months into this. McFly!
Big time. The salary thing's interesting because guys get signed all the time. Doesn't mean they're going to get paid.
No.
Right? Guys get signed all the time to deals, and they get cut before camp starts. They don't play. They don't get paid. So it's not like you're signing up to pay these guys when you don't have any money. They're only going to get paid if there's a season.
Right. And then some guy wrote in, he emailed into us through our website, rodpeterson.com, about a GoFundMe campaign for the CFL. We'll come back on that. This comment from Nelson is starting to annoy me. It's all over the place, man. What are you saying? I'm trying to follow what's going on in the UFC, all these other leagues. There's more out there than the CFL, Nelson. Not to mention counseling people that I'm trying to convince not to kill themselves amid the pandemic through 63 days. So I'm sorry I didn't see the report on the CFL's bubble cities. Like, man. Point 5, Major League Soccer is considering Orlando's Disney World as they open up for bubble cities. I don't know if you've ever been to Disney World in Orlando. All 26 teams potentially will be housed down there. It's not like Disneyland in Anaheim, where it's literally on a section of land. It's not that hard. It's split into 2, what is that, outdoor adventure park and Disneyland on the other, on like 640 acres. In Orlando, it's ginormous area to play. And ESPN, of course, is owned by Disney and ABC, and they're talking about playing there for soccer, so for the soccer fans there. And point 6, Bombers, $3.5 million profit announced yesterday. Interesting timing on announcing that, given everything. And now it's opened up the lid on talk of revenue sharing for the richer teams, which I think is not going to be amenable. That's not coming to the CFL anytime soon. They're not the New York Yankees, the Bombers or the Rough Riders, Darren. Almost $1 million of their revenue coming from hosting the NFL preseason game in August. And we learned from 3 Down Nation that $600,000 per team in the CFL went to keep Montreal afloat yesterday. So it wasn't necessarily coming from the CFL head office coffers. It was coming from every other team, which, by the way, goes back to the dire straits the CFL finds itself in. So those are some of the 6 things that I want to get through today. Anything grab you out of that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. The CFL thing's still interesting. I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around why the Bombers would announce the profit of over $3 million and the timing of it too. I don't know. Trying to find out the motive of that. Or is this just when all the books got put together and they had the information and someone said, put it out? I don't know. That's interesting because you're going through the pandemic, everybody's struggling, and they're kind of coming out saying, we're okay. But yet, as part of the league, you're asking for money from the Canadian government. And yet you just...
Oh, I know. And can you guys put the comment up from Nelson so I can read it? And I apologize, Nelson. He's a longtime friend of mine. I mistook what he was saying. Taylor Roca writing in from the WHL. He's the communications guy. He says, looking forward to the Dub guest today, gents. Thanks for the stellar coverage and continued support. You bet. The Dub's our league. Nelson says, it's not what I meant. It's too back and forth because of leaks. Can you put it back up? Yeah, it's all good, Clark. He's running the Millennium Falcon back there, so. He says, it's too back and forth because of leaks. The request for money has everyone screaming, the sky is falling. The Bubble City News has everyone lifted again and pounding their chest with, they're gonna play. Thank you for that. That's the thing where things get lost in black and white, in writing, right? It would be so nice to be able to maybe hear from people. But, okay, so let's go back. That was our first point. TSN reports the CFL is investigating 2 bubble cities. I would suggest that's maybe where the pay-per-view comment comes from. Even a selected game of the week would be available on pay-per-view. I don't know. I want to make this very clear. I have many times. I'll do it again. I'm not digging into this. I'm letting the Justin Dunks and the Dave Naylors and the Arash Madanis talk about the government funding, the different scenarios the CFL is unfolding. I'm not asking the questions because for years, when I did, I get my head bitten off. You're too nosy. None of your business. Stay out of it. So I'm going to stay out of it. And as I said to Nelson, I'm following all the other leagues. There's enough to do there. I had one team president from another league write me yesterday about what they're looking at doing. This is their scenario. So, hey, everybody's got my number. If you want to get your message out, you come to me. I'm not going to send out those messages and basically tick people off. Donald Mitchell writes from Ottawa. He says, maybe because the Bombers are mandated to release the annual report by law. Oh, yeah. I was just spitballing, Don, as to the timing of it. I'm sure the Bombers, if you go back and check online, they've probably announced every year at this time, the week before training camp opens, if you may, what their financial statements are. I'm just saying, purely speculative here, that less than a week after you go to Ottawa asking for $150 million as a league, you announce a $3.5 million profit. I know it's just timing. I totally get that. But again, it doesn't look real good. And we're going to be getting to a lot of hockey in the program today, so I'm going to stick to football here right now. The NHL stopped dropping the tidbits to Pierre LeBrun and Darren Dreger. And you know why? Dregs told us it was getting people's hopes up too high, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. But you notice how the NHL's gone real quiet for 3 weeks. Yeah. CFL now, Nelson talks about the leaks and it's all over the place. That's what he meant. That's going to happen. I mean, I've got league people writing me going, how come the memos to the players is showing up on 3 Down Nation? Boys, you're never going to stop that. You're never going to stop it. So when you're communicating back and forth, you should just go with the understanding that this is going to end up on a website somewhere.
It's funny you said that because that's something, I don't know where I've heard this, but it's kind of stuck with me as in, when you're making decisions and you're making business decisions or you're making, sending out memos, It's a good rule of thumb to not do anything unless you're comfortable with it showing up on the front page of the newspaper the next day.
Right.
Any business decision you make, letting go of an employee, hiring a certain person, giving them a raise, sending out a memo, buying new coffee cups, who cares? If you're not okay with it being in the paper, it's probably not the best thing for you to do for business. And I think it's the same with writing these memos.
Thank you.
They're going to get leaked.
Those are our quick six show topics in the rollout for Flooring Superstore. Do I need to say it again? I'm going to. What started out as all new flooring for the second floor of our house has turned into new windows, steam room, new bathroom, paint job, God knows what else. But it all started with Flooring Superstore, I'm proud to say.
Yeah.
And the Dickens over there. Donald Mitchell in Ottawa says, I totally get that, Rod. The CFL has never been good at managing the message. Why should things change now? That commentary on Cat Country 98 today was that, and it's actually posted on my blog right now if you want to read it, the transcript was, I'm just enjoying watching how these leagues are jumping over each other to get back onto the field or the court or the ice or the diamond. The UFC was perfectly positioned to get back at this time. The CFL, unfortunately, there's nothing wrong with being a gate-driven league at all. There's nothing wrong with it. But they are the ones that took it the worst right now. They were the ones most vulnerable to something like this. And who could have predicted something like this? You know, and Don talks about how the CFL does things communications-wise. I'm thinking of posting to my Facebook and my Twitter that this is our league, you know, and tugging at people's heartstrings that are my followers and Facebook friends. But then I'm like, that's not my job. That's the CFL's job. And I've been told many, many times, back off, Rod. We got this. So I'm waiting. I would think if I'm Randy Ambrosi and the league bosses, the suits, I'd be telling my social media department, hey, better start getting on some videos here. Right? Some real ones that grasp at the heartstrings of the Canadians as to what this league's meant to them. I would hope that's happening. Do you think that's happening?
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen any of the videos, no. But that's it. I mean, you should be making people fall in love with the game. Not just, playing old games is great. It is. And what else are you going to do? And it's not TSN's job to come up with those things to make people fall in love with the CFL. And they're trying to entertain people. But you got to come up with something. Really now more than ever, have people, realize how much they're going to miss it, how much they love the game. And yeah, stuff like that. I like the video idea. I'd be all over that.
Right.
Get them going. Talk about what this means to people.
Now would be the time.
Time.
So thank you, by the way. I see a report this morning from CTV Halifax, CTV Atlantic, saying that the stadium proposal in Halifax is dead in the water now. A casualty was the term of COVID-19. Schooner's waiting till now to start a campaign to whip up excitement out there. They should have been doing it the last couple of years. CFL should be whipping up excitement now to get the country falling in love and remembering what they love about the CFL. It's not happening. Anonymous text, well, there's a few texts here. One from Alberta from the 403. Anonymous texter says, good morning, RP Nation. I like it.
That's good.
Can we put that on a t-shirt, Paul? RP Nation?
I like that.
Anonymous texter from the 399. Hi, Rod. Our seniors that worked hard and made our provinces great only get a one-time payment of $500. This shows us as their children we should put our money for their health, not greedy, overpaid personnel and quarterbacks. I get it. And that's the other thing. I've been telling these guys in our meetings, guys, it's traumatic right now for the last 2 months. It's going to get worse. Darren said, how's it going to get worse? I said, when they start fighting over money.
Yeah.
And here we are. And it's going to get worse, from here on in. Metal Shingle Guy writes, with no active cases in Regina and South Saskatchewan, it should be a no-brainer that Mosaic and Regina become a bubble city. I would think, Metal Shingle Guy, I hope you're right. Last point here on the rollout for Flooring Superstore. Korean baseball. We are 1 week into the regular season. My team sucks, slew water, and so does yours, Jordan, the Wiz. We are in last place at 1-6, and the Wyverns have lost 6 in a row. I'm going to just put that out there. Your Eagles won last night, 4-1 over the Tigers. I know that you're on top of that.
We needed it.
The Wiz spoiled a tremendous showing by their starting pitcher. They lost 1-0 to the Dinos. The Wiz, they just can't get it all together on the same day.
Yeah.
You know? Gee whiz. Bears over the Giants 7-4. Clark, your Bears won last night. Yep. Our director of scouting, Craig Smith, his Twins beat my Wyverns 3-2. I'm going to owe him lunch from now to the end of time at Nikki's Cafe. That's where he wants to go. Sang Lee was the winning pitcher in that one, by the way.
Okay.
The big donger, he was left in the stable. He did not go yard. However, the Bears' Jaewon Kim did for Clark's team. Jaewon Kim, he hit his 4th round tripper of the year, and he's now tied with the big donger for the lead in Korean baseball in home runs.
Isn't that how it goes? We put the donger up on the side of the stadium, right? We put up the big picture, and then all of a sudden the pressure's there, and he just can't deliver.
Wilts.
Yep.
Yeah. And by the way, the Bears' Jaewon Kim has moved into the RBI lead with 14. So, listen, this is what we do here at this show. We're making Dong Min Han an international star. He's the next Michael Jordan. All because of what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, comedian Kelly Taylor coming up. Peter Anholt, Brad Lauer, Mike Rooney. It's the Rod Pedersen Show, Facebook Live, Game Plus Network, and listen live at rodpeterson.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of the Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpeterson.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.